How's it going? It's LSB, Light Sports Breakdown. We're here, day 2, NBA playoffs. Day 1 was full of action-packed games, very close calls, nail-biters. It's just so great to have the NBA back and the fans just being back. I mean, the bubble was great to just get us our taste of basketball back, but this is just authentic NBA basketball. Playing tournament was a great idea. I think they should expand on it with a March Madness type format. I think it would be great, but we're on to day 2 of the NBA playoffs. 4 more intense games going on today. NBA playoffs, day 2, game 1. First game on the list today, it's between the number 1 seed, Philadelphia 76ers, versus the number 8 seed, Washington Wizards. Like, you didn't hear that wrong. Philadelphia 76ers have the first seed. Joel Embiid has been on the tear and led them to the number 1 seed. He's also in the conversation for the MVP, which is well-deserved. He's having a special season, but the Philadelphia 76ers are in the playoffs. Past 2 years have been disappointment. It's now time for this trio of Simmons, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid to prove that they're legit and that they're contenders. Because whenever they made it to the playoffs, they've underperformed and have been seen as pretenders. But now it's time for them to be seen as contenders with Joel Embiid. And the first step is for Joel Embiid to transfer his MVP caliber play to the playoffs and lead this team to the next round. And this is a perfect test for them. The Washington Wizards were at least 1% chance of making the playoffs, and they changed the narrative. The narrative was that Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal could not play together, and they have thrived. They played in the play-in tournament. Obviously, they ended up losing to the Celtics in Game 1, but they had that second opportunity to beat the Indiana Pacers, and they were able to. And now Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are in the playoffs, but they're facing the number 1 seeded team, and it's going to be very difficult because Joel Embiid is a monster, and they do have Rui Hachimura, and they have Robin Lopez, but I don't believe they have a big that could slow down Joel Embiid enough. And the Philadelphia Sixers are deep. Their bench, they have Tyrese Maxey, they have Seth Curry. They just have a lot of guys on this team of Dwight Howard as a backup who, even though he's past his prime, he still can contribute, and he won a ring last year. So the Philadelphia 76ers have all the pieces and tools to be legit and advance. It's just a matter of if Embiid will play up to par. Simmons has to contribute more. He's got to just try to shoot the ball. He keeps refusing to shoot the ball and just becomes a passer, and teams are daring him to shoot, and he just refuses. You got to adjust yourself and keep improving your game a little bit, but Simmons has yet to do that, and this will be the first test. The narrative has been, like I just said, pretenders over contenders, and they have to change that narrative right off the jump with the Wizards. And not saying that Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal are scrubs, but the Wizards aren't as good as the Philadelphia 76ers. So I'm not saying this is going to be a cakewalk, but if they play like the number 1 seeded team, then they'll be able to advance. And that is why I believe that Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, they're not going to go out without a fight. Russell Westbrook, he's a triple-double machine, and Bradley Beal. But the thing is, Bradley Beal is not 100%, and that's the biggest key to this game. If Bradley Beal was 100%, he would be deadly. I would worry about the Sixers if he was healthy, but he's still not 100%. And because of that, I'm giving them a very small shot, but my prediction is the Sixers will win this series 4-1. And they'll advance, but the key is Simmons, And Embiid, if both don't show up, then he's going to be trouble because you give these Wizards a chance, they're going to capitalize on it. And you can't let them capitalize on this. You have to just show the world that you can do this in the league and you can be a number one seed. Like, it's very rare that a number one seed loses to an 8th seed, but anything has happened in the NBA. So I predict the Sixers to win 4-1. Unfortunately, I believe that it will not go the distance in 7 games.